while looking through the list of the 17.75 million guns in Borderlands 2, I thought to myself, I'm tired of slotting around all these guns, constantly swapping them out for the next high damage gun that I come across. I want to dedicate myself to one gun and only use that gun for the whole game. We'll travel the world together, get our first and last kill together. We'll be like Bonnie and Clyde, except one of us is a weird masochist and the other is a shit gun. And that gun is the starting pistol. This sexy little duck camel covered minx is the basic repeater, which is a dowel pistol you get in the first mission called My First Gun. It does a whopping 11 damage, and I'm going to beat the game using this bad boy. So here is the rules. The first is simple. I can only use the starting pistol. I can't shoot any other guns at all. You might see me picking up a lot of guns, but that's because I'm collecting everything I can to sell so I can have money to buy more ammo for the starting pistol. The second rule is melee attacks are allowed. I'm going to be running out of ammo a lot, so a melee here and there to preserve some ammo or doing some meleeing while I'm waiting for some more ammo to drop is fine, but I'm not allowed to do a melee build, so no buying skills that increase my melee, and if I ever get a shield or anything that gives me increased melee, I either have to get rid of it or not melee until I get something else. The third rule is I'm allowed to use my action skill and buy skill points. The gun does fucking 11 damage, so I'm going to need all the help I can get. And lastly, I'm not allowed to use grenades. I consider grenades to be using a different weapon entirely, and that's cheating. So when the game begins, I need to pick who I think is worthy of wielding such a weapon. Axton, Gage and Krieg are cheating because their action skills all involve some other kind of weapon that'll be getting kills instead of the starting pistol. Salvador would be good for his increased pistol damage and ammo regen, but since his action skill involves another gun, it won't be much use to me. I could clone the starting pistol, but I feel like that's cheating. Zero could be good because of his crit, and his skill trees would help a lot with damage, but the gun's too inaccurate in my opinion to hit crits consistently. So all I've got left is Maya. Her action skill gives us good crowd control, and she has lots of elemental damage skills to help with her really low gun damage, so it is decided that she is the chosen one. We wake up to Claptrap trying to bury us, but since we're alive and not dead like he thought, he takes us to his house where we are bestowed with the almighty starting pistol. We head out to take this baby for its first spin and take the life of a living, breathing creature to get back an eye for a robot. I went to meet Hammerlock and was shredding through enemies like it was nothing, and I was having a really good time, choosing to ignore the reality that it was only going to be downhill from here because this gun only gets weaker the higher leveled enemies you face. I did some side quests to level up, one of which being the fight with Midgemong, where I'll get a light spanking, but didn't have too hard of a time because I just unlocked my action skill. I continue my murderous rampage, taking out Boom Boom with ease, getting bent over every now and again by some of the more beefy enemies, but unfortunately for them, I thrive off of the pain and kept coming back for more until I claimed the lives of all of them and found my way to Captain Flint. With the power of God and anime on my side, I was able to take out Captain Flint on my first try, with the biggest issue so far being my lack of ammo. I made my way to Sanctuary, where I was absolutely shaken to the core to find out that Roland had been captured by the Firehawk and it was up to me to go and save him. With the entire planet's fate resting on my shoulders and my ability to rescue Roland as fast as possible, I decided to do some side quests and kill Doc Mercy before making my way to the Firehawk's lair. The gun was starting to fall off a bit around here, but I made a commitment, and a few extra shots to kill something wasn't about to make me go back on that. After reaching the Firehawk, I discovered that instead of being a big scary murderer, she was much, much worse. A cocky know-it-all wearing low-rise pants that show off her plumber's ass crack. I helped Lilith fight off some guys that were trying to kill her, and she decided to troll me by killing the little squishy guys but making me deal with the badasses even though I was very visibly handicapped. I leveled up while doing some more side quests and got an extremely helpful skill which creates an explosion when I phase grasp an enemy, causing incinerary damage, and this makes dealing with the flesh enemies so much easier. And it came at the most perfect moment because this pistol was really starting to struggle against the beefy enemies. I met a cult who somehow worshipped Lilith and decided it was best to humanely euthanize them by burning them to ashes with my new Burny Phase Grasp skill. I got my ass beat a few times by this spider ant called Scorched, then set out on a trek to sacrifice this cute little guy called Matchstick by incinerating him within the jaws of a giant mechanical dragon. It was now time for me to go meet Ellie, where she gave me a quest which was the equivalent of being uppercutted in the clit by Mike Tyson. Using the gun on the car is cheating, so I had to destroy all the cars using the starting pistol, and if that isn't bad enough, I couldn't even phase grasp them. It took such a long time. Beating this mission was some of the best sex I've ever had, and it was time for me to go and save Roland. I beat Badmore, which took kind of a while, but it wasn't too bad, and now that I deal incinerary damage, I got through the Bloodshot stronghold pretty easily until I got to Mad Mike, who tied me up and dominated me with his rocket launcher. It is here I would like to let you all know that I am a recovering rageaholic who had gone a long time without raging, but unfortunately relapsed during this fight as Mad Mike repeatedly killed me in 1 or 2 rockets. After finally besting Mad Mike, I reached Roland, who was kidnapped once again, so now I had to battle my way through Hyperion robots, which was a big struggle without corrosive damage, but overall it wasn't too bad. The constructor took Roland to Friendship Gulag, which was not friendly at all. It was actually incredibly hostile, and it was here that I experienced my worst beating of all. I attempted to shoot Warden from a distance, but dealt pretty much 0 damage before these big badass robots ran a train on me. I don't know if my asshole will ever recover from that encounter. After dying like a billion times and making no progress, barely being able to chip anything off of Warden's health, I decided to take a little holiday to Wham Bam Island to level up from doing some of the quests there, because I knew that once I reached level 16, I'd be able to get the cloud kill ability, which creates a cloud when I shoot an enemy and deals corrosive damage to them, which is going to be a huge help against the robot enemies. I killed the son of Cromorax and then became addicted to killing children, so I then killed Sparky Flint, the son of Captain Flint. It was right before this fight I earned the cloud kill ability, and I've never played as the Siren in this game before and had no idea how powerful this ability actually is, and from now on I'm probably going to avoid it whenever I do challenges because of how strong it actually is. It was time for me to save Roland for real this time. Previously, I had been bent over by Warden and his badass robots, but this time, I stood up, put on the biggest strap-on I could find, and fucked every robot in there with this pistol and my cloud. With Roland saved, I went to meet Tiny Tina, and she helped me hijack a Hyperion train believed to be carrying the vault key, but it ended up being a trap. No one had faith that I could kill Wilhelm, but as the owner of the world's largest penis, aka the starting pistol, I slapped him across the face with it, killing him instantly. Angel betrayed us and Sanctuary was under attack, so it was time for Lilith to show us how big her dick is and fly that bitch to safety. I went to the wildlife preserve and met Mordecai, who needed me to help him save Bloodwing so we could get information from a collar on her neck. I committed a massacre against the creatures in the wildlife preserve before reaching Bloodwing, who could not handle the power of this starting pistol. At first, it looked like I did no damage, but then she just folded like some paper. Jack blew up Bloodwing's head, and it was at this moment I vowed to take that bastard down. I can handle him murdering people, becoming a dictator, and trying to awaken the warrior to take revenge on the world, but I draw the line at killing an animal. I joined Brick's cult after killing all his men at his request for some reason, and we fuck up some robots to see who has the biggest muscles. It was me, by the way. I had to kill Jack's body double because his gamer girl bathwater didn't provide us with enough DNA to get past his security, and while I was there, I decided to turn my voice into his. It's a personal kink, you wouldn't really get it. I dressed up in my finest latex dominatrix outfit and strapped on the largest metal strap-on that I could find and made my way to bunker, ready to show it who Big Mama is. After me and my starting pistol established our dominance, the bunker busted a huge nut of loot, mostly useless to me because the starting pistol is all I really need, and it was time for me to go and get the vault key. While traveling to the control core, Angel let me know that I was gonna have to kill her in order to get the vault key, which I had no issue with since I had found my love of child killing in Wham Bam Island. I got my fix of child murder, then Lilith ruined it all and got Roland killed because she just had to go against Angel's warnings for her not to come and flex her big old dick. Every now and then we get little glimpses of how much damage the starting pistol actually does to things when I can't proc my skills or anything, and it takes like a whole minute to kill one thing. While I was doing all the data mining stuff, I ran into Saturn, who beat me down and attempted to intimidate me with that little skull next to his name, but I knew deep down, beneath all that robotness, he had a little micro-peen, and was no match for me and my well-endowed lover, the starting pistol. These enemies hurt worse than my parents telling me they're not mad, just disappointed, so before taking on Jack and the Warrior, I headed to Christmas Town and helped out little Timmy, who is absolutely fucking ripped, by the way. I fought Mr. Snowflake and he actually was fucking me up at some points, but ultimately the starting pistol was too powerful and I saved Christmas. I went to Halloween Town to get my last level up, and then after defeating the Pumpkin Kingpin, I started making my way to the Warrior. I got my ass beat here and there due to being a little bit underleveled, but I kept my composure because deep down I knew me and my pistol were born ready for this fight. I reached Handsome Jack and we begun our epic battle that lasted like a minute and a half, and I almost choked right at the end, but luckily got second wind on him right here. But, just like always, Lilith ruined the moment by charging the vault key as Jack was on the brink of death. It was time. Every moment in my life, my birth, my first word, finishing school, losing my virginity, it all led me to this moment right here, where I'm standing in front of the final boss, level 1 weapon in hand, ready to whoop its ass like an angry mum holding a slipper. The fight begun, and within seconds I passed away peacefully while on fire, surrounded by lava with a giant monster standing over me. My confidence remained high, however, and I marched right back in there to get the job done. During the fight, I was absolutely shocked to discover that the lava was rising, and I wish there was someone in there with me to remind me of that fact constantly. I know the lava is rising, bro. I know, bro. I know the lava is coming. And I have this under control. Trust me. I've actually got the warrior at under half health. I'm dead. Oh no, really? The lava is rising? I never would have known. The lava is rising! No! While I was fighting for my life, I was able to claim the life of the warrior, and my question was answered. You can beat Borderlands 2 using only the starting pistol. Actually, you can thrive using only the starting pistol. There's no need for any of those fancy smanchy millions of other weapons in the game because the starting pistol is the only gun that you need. Once again, if you've made it to the end of the video, your resistance to cringe is astonishing. I plan on doing this for Borderlands 3, so if you enjoyed this, look out for that. I think it's going to be more difficult in Borderlands 3, but I'm probably going to put more restrictions in place anyway, just to make sure that it is more difficult. I stream all of these challenges over on my Twitch, which I'll link in the description, and I would really appreciate the emotional support over there while I torture myself doing these. And over there right now, I'll be working on Borderlands 3 with only the starting pistol, and we're also working on 100 Days of Hardcore Arc, which has been a big struggle with all the resets that we've been doing, but we're almost there. If you like and subscribe, I'll tell my cute mustachioed dogs that they are good boys. Bye!